Yeah, this is a good post, man. The whole LCS is fucked up.
What?
The
What post?
whole, like, basically, you can finish 6th in the regular season, yet be 1st. You know, and then you can
Yeah.
be 3rd in a regular season, yet get relegated and like not even show up in the next season. Like the whole thing, the whole 28 games leading up to the playoffs.
But pretty much worthless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like just the most pointless shit ever. They're useless. Top 4 teams make class, but it's play with this format.
Yeah, I don't like the concept of relegation too much.
Relegation's okay, but it should be restricted to the 7th and 8th place teams. Like that was what originally it was intended to do. But then
Only the 7th and 8th. Yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah, but then somehow like they're like, don't worry, you get job security if you're like 3rd through 8th though. Fuck you.
Dude, I'm worried for my Dignitas homies.
Nah, they look like they got pretty easy teams to play.
Yeah, they probably have like that's another thing.
CLG
Every
looks
team,
pretty rough.
like it's kind of, I don't know. CLG doesn't even look that rough because like Azure Cats aren't good, and like everyone just like is hyping them for some random reason.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they're that good. But...
like my team shits on them like hard, like 2-0 like easily, and like we're not good. So I don't know. I think Quantic is the only one that has a shot, but I don't even think Quantic's like favored. Like I would take Complexity over Quantic right now.
Yeah, but the difference
I'm pretty sure
between
it's just gonna be the same
the
thing,
difference
though,
between
so
the NFL
Maybe Quantic,
and
but pretty much the same
League of
thing,
Legends
LCS.
is if you can come in dead last in the NFL and you'll still be there the next season. You come in dead last in fucking LCS, your team disbands. Like that's the fucking difference. Like you can place anything you want in the NFL, and because they do profit sharing, not profit sharing, what is it? There's a word for it. I can't remember, but they basically all the companies share the income. It's God, it has something to do with communism. Can't remember what it's called, but anyways, they share all the money. Like they're like a union, unionized organization. Now, what the fuck is the word? See, what's that word? What's the word? We're like, it's like the NFL, the MLB, all of them. They all like share. They share the money, like all the different franchises. A pool. It said it's collective bargaining. That makes sense. I like that word. But like that's basically how it works with those things or whatever. And it doesn't work the same way with League because League is it's still in an infancy state. Yeah, there's not enough teams in League right now, and then Riot is putting like the money in to get League through its infancy, but until like uh, until whatchamacallit, until all the industry, like until like there's like a unionized thing going on with all the teams, then it'll still be like a fuck system. Well, I didn't get much sleep, so I sound like a retard. No, see, this guy's like, Dig has too many fans for Riot to let them get kicked out of the LCS. But that's the reality of the situation. It's like, if any of the top teams get knocked down to relegation, and then they get knocked out, then they lose their sponsorship, they lose their team house, sponsors will drop them, and basically their team will cease to exist. Like no team that has invested that much is going to stay. Like people are like, well, don't worry, just play in the off season and fucking come back, next split. It doesn't work that way. Like teams will lose all their, like luckily like Curse we're not in like that situation, but like any of the teams could be in that situation. Like could you imagine a season like next season doesn't have Dignitas and CLG in it? It's like it's definitely a reality. It definitely could happen. But it's just kind of dumb for like teams that have invested so much. They can just get like knocked out because maybe they had like a bad week or something like that. pretty stupid. Basically, the people invest like large portions of their life, like big chunks. Like Hotshot's probably invested 3 years of his life, a lot of time, money, and all that kind of stuff into CLG. And just because maybe they have like a bad week, and then 3 years of his life is like gone. Like that's the reality of the situation, and that's why it's like so dumb. See, this guy makes the statement: if you're knocked out of the LCS, then are you really a top team? Well, like look at other sports. There's some teams that like have a good like 2-year run or something like that, and they like shit on everybody. But then maybe the next year after that, like they trade out some players, something like that, and then they suck ass, and they're like a bottom team. Like let's say like the Chicago Bulls, they like dumpstered everybody for like a couple years, and then they sucked for like the next decade and a half. Like, do you think that they don't have a place that belongs in the NBA just because they're doing bad right now? Like that their lineage and all that kind of stuff like that, or like the fact that you think that they could not do good in the future? Like, it's stupid. Like the whole concept is dumb. Yeah, the OGN has a good format because the seasons are shorter, and it actually has like less strict ruling, like less stringent rules. I think. I like the OGN setup though. It is good. It's very rough though. Like if you get knocked out early in the season, then you get fucked. Their system's very harsh too, but it's like the fact they have shorter seasons and more often seasons is good though. They have 4 seasons as opposed to 2. Esports isn't in its infancy. Esports is established. Esports has been around for 15 years. It's just that the LCS is in its infancy, and it's like a good first shot by Riot. Like for this first season, it's good. It's just they need to restructure the league. And it's basically like it's almost out of Riot's control just because of like how early it is in the thing. So it's not really their fault. It's just it needs to be like re-examined and stuff in the future.
So wait, the spring split was completely irrelevant? Like everything's based off the summer split?
Yeah, that's why it's even dumber. Like literally the whole first split means like jack shit. It's like really disappointing.
That's weird. It should have been like half and half. Like,
yep.
Performance in each one. Should have just been like a point system or something.
Yeah. But then like how are you supposed to equate that to like new teams coming in, you know?
Yeah, it's like why if you've been in it for more, you have like a chance to accumulate more points. Like I think that like yeah, a new team like comes in and beats half the season. I don't know if they should like be representing NA yet.
No, it's not the sponsor's fault. You just can't have a team that's not going to be in the LCS for 6 months and expect for a sponsor to stay with them. And that's not really the sponsor's fault. That's more of like just the league structure's fault.